When we're talking about orchestral drumming, there's really no rules. We just want everything to sound as good as possible, and we do whatever it takes to make that sound. In rudimental drumming, we have a lot of rules. The stickings, how we hold the sticks, how we tilt our drum, because we want to be uniform with the person next to us. So if you're playing an orchestral drum and your rolls sound better match grip, then play them match grip. For me, my buzz rolls or pressed rolls or orchestral rolls sound better traditional grip because I feel more comfortable playing with this grip. I'm going to demonstrate exercise number 1. Now that breaks the buzz rolls down one hand at a time. And the whole idea is to get as much buzz from the stick as possible. Also, when you're playing a pressed roll on a snare drum, you want to play off-center because there's a little more ring off-center than there is in the middle. The middle of the drum is the driest part of the drum. So this is our way of sustaining a note. So we want to play off-center where we get some sustain. Exercise 1 goes like this. The difficult thing about orchestral rolls or pressed rolls is metering the roll. The slower the tempo, the more notes you're going to use. So the faster the tempo, the fewer notes. I'm going to demonstrate this by playing exercise 3. I'm going to start out playing 3E, which is subdivided by 16th notes, and then I'm going to play 3B, which is subdivided by septuplets. You should practice all of these, A, B, C, D, E, and F, and practice the different subdivisions. Just because they're faster doesn't make them harder, it's just fewer notes. Okay, so here is exercise 3, E. All right, also notice each time I played it, I started on the opposite hand. So play it once off the right and then once starting with the left. That's true with all the exercises in this book. You need to be as ambidextrous as possible as a drummer, so always practice starting on your left as well as your right. All right, I'm going to play 3B now. Now this is a septuplet, so it's an odd number, which means I'm going to end on the opposite hand that I start with. So if I start on my right, I'm going to end on my left. All right, I'm going to do it once with a right hand lead, and then I'm going to start with a left hand lead. So when I start with my left, I'll end with my right. So here is 3B. Next, I'm going to play exercise 5 at 2 different tempos. We're going to start with tempo 2, and I'm going to play it at tempo 5. There are a couple things you got to watch out for in exercise 5. First of all, by playing it at 2 different tempos, the subdivision of the roll is going to be a little different. So there's going to be many more strokes in the slower tempo, tempo 2. Secondly, there's a roll with no ending on it. It's just a release roll. There's no tap at the end of the roll. When you have one of these rolls, just lift the sticks off the head. I'll demonstrate. Then finally, in the last measure, you have a forte piano crescendo roll. So I'm going to hit that roll, forte, drop down soft, and then crescendo to the end of the roll, like so. Now I'm going to demonstrate exercise number 5 at tempo 2. Now I'm going to play it at tempo 5, so there'll be much fewer strokes. It's a faster tempo, fewer strokes. All right, I'm going to now demonstrate the Etude in lesson number 4, but before I do, I have to explain a couple things. First of all, we've added a cowbell, and it's notated starting in the 3rd measure with the X note head. That's the cowbell part. And in the left hand, you notice there's a buzz, just one note with the left hand. And we're going to just play a press roll or a dead stroke on the head. So that's how we're going to play. In fact, I'll play the 3rd measure. All right? Also, in the 2nd line, 1st measure, you see 2 note heads with 1 stem. That's also going to be a dead stroke with both sticks. Leave them both down because the next note is a stick shot, the right on the left. So we're going to go. Okay? And then just be aware whatever tempo you're playing at, the pulsations of the roll is going to change. All right, so this is lesson 4, Etude at tempo 4.